I was sitting at my kitchen table, reviewing my bonus statement with a cup of coffee, when my sister-in-law Ashley waddled in without knocking. 8 months pregnant and treating the world like her personal servant. She'd been insufferable for months, but what came next crossed every line I didn't even know existed. Perfect timing, she exclaimed, lowering herself onto my couch with a dramatic sigh. I need to talk to you about the baby's nursery fund. Good morning to you too, Ashley, I said, quickly closing my laptop. What nursery fund? She rubbed her belly in that performative way she'd perfected. Well, Brian and I have been budgeting for the baby, and we're coming up short. Quality cribs are so expensive these days, and don't get me started on the stroller systems. That's tough, I said neutrally, already sensing where this was heading. Have you checked Facebook Marketplace? Lots of gently used baby stuff there. Her face scrunched up like I'd suggested dressing her baby in garbage bags. Used? You want my baby sleeping in some other child's germs? Ashley, millions of parents buy used baby items. It's safe and practical. Which brings me to why I'm here, she interrupted, pulling out her phone. I saw the notification on Tyler's phone this morning. Your quarterly bonus posted, $7,500, right? My stomach dropped. My husband Tyler had access to my banking app for emergencies, but I never thought he'd share my financial information with his family. My finances are private, Ashley. Private? She laughed. We're family. Tyler already told me all about it. And here's the thing, you don't need that money. You have a job, no kids, no real responsibilities. But this baby? She patted her stomach again. This baby needs everything. The nursery, the clothes, the medical supplies. I'm growing a human life here. My name is Dana, and I'm a 30-year-old project manager at an engineering firm. I'd worked my way up from entry-level CAD technician to managing multi-million-dollar projects. Those quarterly bonuses? They were tied to project completions, representing months of overtime, weekend work, and stress-induced insomnia. Ashley, I'm not giving you my bonus. Her eyes widened in mock shock. You're really going to deny a baby basic necessities? What kind of aunt are you? The kind who knows the difference between necessities and wants. You don't need a $2,000 crib. You want one. Tyler, she called out, and my husband emerged from our bedroom where he'd apparently been hiding. Tell your wife she's being unreasonable. Tyler couldn't meet my eyes. Dana, maybe we should consider it. I mean, it is for the baby. We? I stood up, anger rising. There's no we in my bonus, Tyler. I earned it, working 70-hour weeks while you've been unemployed for 8 months. I'm between jobs, he protested, the same line he'd been using since his buddy hired and fired him from a sales position he'd been terrible at. You've been between jobs for most of our marriage, I shot back, and now you're volunteering my money to your sister? Ashley heaved herself up from the couch. This is exactly what's wrong with your generation, Dana. No sense of family values. In my parents' day, family helped family, but you're so selfish, hoarding money while a baby, an innocent baby, goes without. Goes without what? You and Brian both have jobs, you have health insurance, you have a 2-bedroom apartment. What exactly is this baby going without? The best, Ashley shrieked. My baby deserves the best, and you have the means to provide it, but you're too stingy. Get out, I said quietly. What? Get out of my house, now. Tyler stepped forward. Dana, you can't kick out my pregnant sister. Watch me. I opened the front door. Ashley, leave, now, before I call the police for trespassing. She waddled toward the door, tears streaming down her face. You're heartless, absolutely heartless, choosing money over family. I'm choosing self-respect over manipulation, I corrected. There's a difference. After she left, Tyler turned on me. How could you do that to her? She's pregnant. Being pregnant doesn't entitle her to my paycheck. $7,500 is nothing to you, he said dismissively. You make good money, you can earn more, but Ashley and Brian are struggling. Struggling? I laughed bitterly. Tyler, they went to Cabo last month. They eat out 4 times a week. They have a newer car than we do. That's not struggling. That's poor financial planning. So you're going to punish a baby for the parents' mistakes? I'm not punishing anyone. I'm keeping the money I earned. Why is that so hard to understand? Because family helps family, he was shouting now. My sister needs help, and you have the means to help her. End of story. You want to help your sister? Get a job and give her your paycheck. His face flushed red. That's not. I'm looking for the right opportunity. You've been looking for 8 months, Tyler. In that time, I've paid our rent, our bills, bought our groceries, made your car payment, covered your phone bill, and even paid for your gym membership so you could network. And now you want me to give my bonus to your sister because she decided to have a baby she can't afford? She can afford it, she just wants the best for her child. What's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with wanting the best. Everything's wrong with demanding someone else pay for it. You're being a selfish bitch, he said coldly. The words hung in the air between us. In 5 years of marriage, he'd never called me names before, but then again, I'd never refused his family money before. You know what? I said, grabbing my purse and keys. You're right, I am selfish. Selfish enough to value my own hard work. Selfish enough to save for my own future. Selfish enough to stop enabling your entire family's poor life choices. Where are you going? To a hotel. When I come back tomorrow, I want you gone. You can't kick me out. This is my home too. No, Tyler, this is my apartment, my name on the lease, paid for with my job. You're just a guest who's overstayed his welcome. I left him standing there, mouth open in shock. As I drove to the nearest Marriott, my phone exploded with messages. From Ashley, you made me cry. Stress is bad for the baby. If anything happens, it's your fault. From Tyler's mom, how dare you treat family this way? That baby is your blood. From Brian, Ashley's husband really disappointed in you. Dana, thought you were better than this. From Tyler, please come home. We can talk about this. Maybe just give her half? I turned off my phone and checked into the hotel. For the first time in months, I slept peacefully without worrying about Tyler's snoring or what new financial demand his family would make. The next morning, I called my lawyer friend Rachel. I need a divorce attorney, the best you know. Finally, she exclaimed, what was the last straw? I gave her the short version. She whistled low. They wanted your bonus for baby stuff? That's a new one. Usually it's for medical emergencies or housing crises, not designer cribs. Can you help me protect my assets? Already texting you a contact. Don't worry, Dana, you've been smart keeping finances separate. This should be clean. When I returned to the apartment that afternoon, Tyler was gone, but he'd left a note. Staying with mom and dad. Can't believe you're ending our marriage over money. Ashley's right, you're heartless. P.S. The electric bill is due Friday. I laughed at that last line, the audacity of reminding me about a bill he'd never once paid. Over the next few days, the family harassment intensified. Tyler's parents called me crying about how I was tearing the family apart. Ashley posted cryptic Facebook statuses about toxic people who value money over innocent babies. Various cousins and aunts reached out to lecture me about family values. But the tune changed dramatically by the end of the week. It started with Tyler calling from his mom's phone, panic in his voice. Dana, the apartment company called. They said the rent check bounced? What rent check? I asked innocently. I didn't write a rent check. But rent is due. Yes, it is, to the tune of $1,800. Better figure that out quickly. Late fees start accumulating after the 5th. I don't have $1,800. Maybe ask Ashley. Oh wait, she needs money for the baby. Maybe get a job? I hear Target is hiring. This isn't funny, I could be evicted. You're not on the lease, remember? You can't be evicted from a place you don't legally live in. I, however, can have you removed for trespassing if you try to come back. The phone went quiet. Then I heard muffled conversation in the background. His mother's voice rose. What do you mean she pays all the bills? Tyler's voice. Defensive, she makes more money. How much more? His father now. More muffled conversation. Then his mother grabbed the phone. Dana, dear, there seems to be some confusion. Tyler said you two split expenses? No confusion, Carol. I've paid 100% of our expenses for 8 months. Before that, I paid about 85% because Tyler's job barely covered his car payment. But he told us he was the breadwinner. The only bread Tyler's been winning is the kind I buy at the grocery store, with my debit card, from my account. We had no idea. She sounded genuinely shocked. He said your bonus was extra money you didn't need. Carol, my extra money has been supporting your son for almost a year. That $7,500 bonus? That was earmarked for my emergency fund because I've been unable to save while supporting 2 adults on one income. The call ended abruptly. 20 minutes later, Ashley called, no longer crying but furious. You've been lying to us. About what? Tyler doesn't have a job. You've been supporting him, and you let me beg for money while hiding this? I didn't hide anything. You all assumed Tyler was employed because he told you he was. Maybe next time verify facts before demanding someone's bonus. But if I'd known, you'd what? Still have demanded my money but felt slightly worse about it? Ashley, You saw my bonus notification and immediately felt entitled to it. Whether Tyler works or not doesn't change that. The baby will be fine. You and Brian both work. You have insurance. You have family support. What you don't have is my $7,500. And you never will. She hung up on me. The divorce proceedings were swift and brutal, for Tyler. Without income or assets, he couldn't afford a lawyer. He tried to claim alimony, arguing that I'd created a lifestyle dependency, but the judge shut that down quickly. Mr. Tyler, you're a healthy 32-year-old man. Your wife supported you for 8 months while you looked for work. That was generous, not obligatory. No alimony will be awarded. His family attended the hearing, apparently planning to testify about my cruelty to pregnant Ashley. The judge wasn't interested. Ma'am, your daughter-in-law's bonus has no bearing on these proceedings. Please sit down. After the divorce, the full extent of Tyler's deception came out. He'd been telling his family he made 6 figures in consulting. He'd been taking credit for the vacations I'd paid for, the gifts I'd bought for family occasions, even the Christmas donations to their church. They'd thought he was successful and generous, never knowing every penny came from my account. Ashley's baby was born 2 months later, healthy, perfect, and sleeping in a second-hand crib from Facebook Marketplace that worked just as well as the $2,000 version she'd wanted. She sent me a picture with a passive-aggressive caption, "Despite some people's selfishness, our baby is thriving." I didn't respond, but I did notice she'd tagged Tyler in the photo. According to mutual friends, he was living in his parents' basement, working part-time at a cell phone store, and contributing exactly nothing to his new nephew's expenses. 6 months post-divorce, I ran into Brian at Costco. He looked exhausted, pushing a cart full of diapers and formula. "Dana," he said awkwardly. "Hi. Hi Brian, how's the baby?" "Good, great, expensive." He laughed weakly. "Look, I owe you an apology. I didn't know the full situation when Ashley asked for your bonus. Tyler had us all convinced that he was employed." "Yeah, that was quite the fiction. We genuinely thought you two were financially comfortable and being stingy. If we'd known you were supporting him alone, you still would have wanted my bonus," I said, not unkindly but honestly. "Maybe you would have asked instead of demanded, but you still would have felt entitled to it because family helps family, right?" He had the grace to look ashamed. "You're probably right. Ashley was so convinced she deserved, well, everything. How's that working out?" "It's been a reality check," he admitted. "Babies don't care if their crib cost $2,000 or $200. They just need safe, clean, and loved. We're learning. Good lessons to learn," I said. "Take care, Brian." As I loaded my Costco haul into my new car, bought with my accumulated bonuses now that I wasn't supporting Tyler, I reflected on how much had changed. My quarterly bonus had increased to $10,000 thanks to taking on additional projects I now had time for. My savings account was healthy. My stress levels were down. And Tyler? Last I heard, he was still living with his parents, still working retail, still waiting for the right opportunity. His family had stopped enabling him after discovering his lies, but old habits die hard. He'd recently started dating someone new, and according to the gossip mill, was already hinting about moving in together so he could focus on his career goals. Some people never learn. As for Ashley, she became a mommy blogger, writing posts about surviving on a budget and why designer baby items are a scam. The irony wasn't lost on anyone who knew the real story. She'd gone from demanding my bonus for luxury items to preaching frugality. Motherhood has a way of rearranging priorities. But here's what I learned: your bonus is yours, your hard work is yours, your success is yours, and anyone who tries to guilt you into sharing it, whether they're pregnant, family, or both, is showing you exactly who they are. The $7,500 Ashley wanted for her designer nursery? It's now part of my house down payment. Because that's what happens when you protect your financial boundaries. You build your own future instead of funding someone else's present. Being called heartless for keeping your own money isn't heartless, it's smart. And if that makes me selfish, then I'll be selfish with my head held high and my bank account intact. If you're watching this and facing similar demands, remember, babies don't need $2,000 cribs. They need love, care, and parents who live within their means. Your bonus isn't a family fund, it's your reward for your hard work. Don't let anyone, pregnant or not, convince you otherwise. Thank you for watching my story. Protect your bonuses, set your boundaries, and never apologize for keeping what you've earned.